sees and the passengers.
I mean, you forgive me for trying to be, to be quite with all of that. People now have concerns. The one for Edo State, pictures we saw later, and people we spoke with, the report was that it was just almost, the station was just so empty. There was no security presence. There was almost nothing. So anybody can just come in at any time and do whatever they want to do and leave. Would that be different at the Port Harcourt train station?
Like I told you, the security arrangements that are being put in place are not just landing from the moon. The system looked at yesterday, looked at experiences, and like the word I used, I said re-strategizing to make sure that such unfortunate situation does not happen again. There are arrangements, security arrangements, and by the grace of God, everybody will be protected. Everybody will be protected en route.
And what about the protection of the facility to prevent vandalism? Have there been meetings with maybe the communities where the train tracks, go through? Because we've also seen trading along the tracks. We've seen people vandalize the tracks. We've seen a lot of these things happen before we, had a pause on train transportation for work to commence. Have you looked at how those would be addressed now that you're resuming operations?
Yes. Thank you very much for that question. The greatest challenge that we face today in our system is vandalism of railway facilities, and this gets me worried and gets every right-thinking member of the society very worried. For instance, along Diobu, Transamadi, Shellback, NLN1 to Concom, we have issues of vandalism, issues of removal of railway materials. And in areas like around the Abia State, areas like Ogwe, Ubuzo, and Aba area, these areas I just mentioned to you, you find out that people will go. And in fact, yesterday while we were on train, we saw bags, cement bags. People were scooping the ballast stones on the track. There were the ones that were removed for the reconstruction and new ones placed there, but those ones by the side are also serving for the consolidation of the track. People who have the effrontery to scoop these ballast stones. What we call ballast stones are those concrete stones that you see on the track that help for the stability of the track. You see them packed along the route. And we have said this thing repeatedly to ourselves that this is for us. The train is not serving the governor, the minister, or the president. The train is for the people. And these people that are removing these materials are living in the communities. The communities have a lot to do to protect the facilities. These facilities are their own, constructed by the federal government. But we must take possession and watch these facilities and make necessary reports when we see suspicious movement around these facilities, these tracks. Bags of cement, stones packed on them in communities, in villages, and nobody is talking.
But the corporation have conversations with the community leaderships where we have these tracks passing through, perhaps the council chairman, local security outfits. I mean, to form some sort of synergy.
I must say this. We have been engaging traditional rulers along communities, in communities bordering our tracks. I must also tell you that some of these engagements are yielding results. For instance, a few weeks ago at Ogwe, the new track, some vandals were caught by the community, vandalizing the new track, this particular new track. The community arranged themselves, caught the vandals, about 3 of them. As we speak, they are in custody. So these engagements are continuing, and we will not get tired, we won't relent, we'll continue to engage the community, and this opportunity you have given to us is one of the avenues that will plead to communities to take possession of the facilities in their communities and know that these are ours. This will serve our people. So the engagements are continuing. We're not relenting. We'll continue to do that. But we're also pleading with people. If you see something, say something. No matter how discreet you can be, reach out to security agencies, reach out to railway authorities that you know, so that they will be able to do the needful.
All right.
And allow these things to serve all of us.
All right. You just stay on the line for us. Dr. Onyedikachi Stanley Onovo has been my guest. We have to go for a short commercial now, but the conversation will continue as soon as we return. We'll be taking messages from the listener as well, and I'm sure they have a few questions they will need you to respond to. So please stay on the line for us. When we come back, the issue of trading along the tracks, how are we addressing that? We'll find out more.
Nigeria Info. We'll be right back after this.
My guest is Dr. Onyedikachi Stanley Onovo. He is the Eastern District Public Relations Officer for the Nigerian Railway Corporation. My name is Ifeemi Andrew. Get on Facebook if you haven't joined our Facebook community. It is Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. And let us know what your thoughts are. Do you have concerns over the maintenance of the rail lines following the resumption of train transport in the state? Well, share more of your thoughts with us. My guest had a few to say concerning vandalism, but there's still more to talk about. There is the problem also of trading. I mean, you've seen videos of this similar situation in Lagos State. You have traders along the rail line, and before train services was halted in Rivers State, I'm talking between Port Harcourt to Aba, we had same problems here in Port Harcourt. If you go to the Woji axis, you'd understand better what I'm saying. If you go to Aba, in fact, it's even worse, and all communities in between, you would see these things happen. How do we address this? It's a huge question. I'll get back to my guests now, but don't forget that you can send in your questions using the WhatsApp number 0809-030-6416. You can also send your questions to us on Facebook. So get on the live stream, Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. Like the page, go onto the live stream, click the share button, and don't forget to drop your comment and also click on the like button. Good morning. Thank you for staying on the line, Mr. Onovo.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
So you were telling us about the recent arrest of some hoodlums who were attempting to vandalize the new train tracks in one of the communities. But tell us about also what is being done to address the problem of trading along the rail lines. I mean, some of the rail lines, I will use the Woji axis for instance. It got so bad because we had people dumping waste by the sides of the rails. You had people trading and all sorts. And is that something that you have looked at and come up with some sort of mechanism to tackle?
The issue of trading on our rail lines become so challenging that on a regular basis, you see these things happen, and they are serious danger signs. You mentioned the Woji axis, the My One market here. You see the trains coming, and you see people just adjusting for the train to pass, and they will come back to what they were doing. We've had engagements with these market unions, the traders, their unions, and we have threatened, we have pleaded, I really don't know what.
Have you taken the option of arresting?
Of course, arrests are going on, but you know that the police force is short-staffed. The stretch of the track is very long. They can't be on every spot, and every of our track needs such attention, one attention or the other. Intermittently, the police will raid and pick up people. But I don't know what is wrong with our people. Everybody can go to My One now and see what is happening there. They have this feeling that once the train is coming, they begin to remove. We have engaged, we have tried to put barriers, but some of those places are very busy access to.
So my question now is, did the minister witness this at the My One station? Part of the station.
Yes.
And what was his reaction to it?
Of course, his reaction was such. He saw the disgusting nature of the whole thing, and this directive of making sure that the trading activities don't continue on this track was issued again. But the problem we're having is the problem of human beings. The problem of human beings. The person that is doing the trading is more at risk. We want to use this opportunity again to plead with them to save their lives. Apart from any other eventualities, there could be accidents, there could be derailment. You think you are very safe. Let me just shift let the train pass. There could be derailment, and if there's any derailment, action is going to run through those shops there. We treat with local government administrations, we treat with the state government, whatever mechanism they are going to put in place to help the Nigerian Railway Corporation serve the residents of the River State, it will be highly appreciated.
All right.
One may not understand the challenge until you see it.
Before we go on with more questions, we'll just get to the phone lines so the listener can, share their thoughts and ask their questions as well. Perhaps you'd have the answers that they are seeking. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, 0817-923-0007. Now, any of these numbers, if you want to get in touch with us, very simple. What are your concerns? I mean, top of the list would be the maintenance and security. Maintenance of the facility, security of the facility, and the passengers that would be using this facility. Not to also forget the workers. We would come to that after now. And there are some that have even argued that, well, shouldn't we be talking beyond the narrow gauge for a state like Rivers State, and for the plans that the corporation has? Should we not be looking at beyond a narrow gauge? Well, perhaps my guest would also respond to those over time. But first, let's go over to Robin. Robin is calling from Ichie. Robin, good morning to you.
Again,
Welcome.
And greeting to our guest, Onovo. Before I go on, let me congratulate you to this Saturday, even if you are on duty. And listen to all workers of Nigeria.
Thank you for that one. Go on.
You see, in the morning, I reacted about this railway. As an individual, I feel elated. Whether narrow, tiny gauge, what anybody thinks about, train transportation is train transportation. We had our guest. If even letting us know that is VIP coach. The other side is 800. You pay 1,005. You are in Aba quietly. And I said then, I'm going to repeat myself. This facility is given me. It's for us. It does not make sense people going to vandalize the rate fact. It does not make any sense. How long shall we continue to repeat? People are talking about other gauge. If this very one was maintained, it's not being vandalized. Probably the government that built this one or reconstructed this one will be thinking about another type of system. So I want to enjoy people of South, people of Southeast, that this thing traverses through before it gets to Mekuguli. They should be conscious of the fact that this thing belongs to us, so that we can have a safe means to support ourselves. Then my question to him, please, I had him that restrategizing in usual language twice, and that, by my understanding, means present continuous tense. I am thinking, in spite of these students that happen, putting all of that into consideration, that before opening the race, thinking happen before it not repeat itself. Kudos to Nigerian Railway Corporation. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Robin. We go over to Buguma now. George in Buguma, good morning.
Yes, Andrew, good morning to you.
Yes,
I will
George,
also
welcome.
greet your guests and say good morning and happy Workers' Day to all. I want to say that the Lord is your strength, because today you are still out to serve the public while others are at home. Yes, may God bless you people. You see, my brother, before now, if you think cast memory back lane, you will know that when Nigeria is in unity and you hear things like this, people get more happier than what it were today. But it is because of the level of disunity that we have find ourselves, where people don't believe in the system of this country and what is happening, the lopsidedness, the leadership style and the system that is working is not working in line and in tune to favor the common man. And that is why people were to vest their anger or to vent their anger, they go to see how they can either destroy the government facility or they go to it. Even pipeline vandalism, all these things as a result of the government not taking to cognizance that the citizens of this country is passing through air. And the only way they can go to Aso Rock, but they can go to the nearby, the one that is very closer to them, to unveil their anger so that the government of the day will now know that yes, you know that, okay, look at House of Reps yesterday, arguing and quarreling over sitting arrangements.
Okay, George, I think you made your point already. We don't have all the time. Your point has been made. We have to move on to another caller now. Justice is Nomudioga. So let's just please stay within the circumference of the conversation. And if you have a question to direct to the guest, direct your question straight to the guest. If you have a response on the topic, give your response so we can accommodate as many calls as possible. Go ahead, Justice.
Andrew, good morning.
Good morning.
My regards to your guest. Your guest has accepted that there is challenge, and that the part of the challenge is vandalization. And when you ask him part of the effort that has been made to curtail this vandalization, he says some people have been arrested. But to me, arresting vandalizers is not a very good effort in curtailing this vandalization. What of the issue of insecurity? Just like I mentioned earlier in your newspaper review of what happened in Abuja track, where armed people, armed men came to attack three passengers. And if something is not done very well, it may still happen again. I am of the view that if there is no plan enough to secure train passengers, we should suspend resumption of train activity for now. Andrew, please help me ask your case again. What is the plan? What is the plan? What has the federal government done to secure train passengers? Remembering what has happened before in Abuja.
All right, Justice, thank you.
That's very important, sir.
We'll get across to my guest on that one. The numbers still are 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. On Facebook, this one is from Watt Champion. He's watching from Abidjan in Ivory Coast. He says, I think we should be talking about metro stations and not ordinary wagon again. Well, there are some people who have said this, should we still be discussing locomotive trains? I mean, technology and with the resources we have, we should do better. Pocatino says, we are our problems, not really the government. How on earth will someone remove tracks that will benefit everyone just for their gains? And this person says, please ask your guest, how do we know the timing and how to book for tickets? Secondly, the Railway Corporation should go beyond interfacing with communities, but use technology to curb vandalism. This is Samuel the Psalmist on Facebook. You sent in that message. I'll get my guest to respond to some of your questions now. On WhatsApp, this one says, please ask your guest, what is the meaning of MO? Yeah, there was a picture circulating on social media. We had Port Harcourt to Aba and then Port Harcourt to MO. So he wants to know what MO means. That's Jumbo. And this one says, ask your guest, where is the train station located? All right, Mr. Onovo, we'll just get you to respond to some of this. And if you'd want to start with the ticket booking, the timing, and all of those.
Yes, and thank you very much once again for the kind words and contributions. Passengers can get their tickets at various stations here in Port Harcourt main station, at we have two market halls, we have one station, we have Imo River station, we have Hong Kong station, we have our stations along the route, all into Ogbe, all into Abahot and our stations. Our stations are along the route will be open for passengers to book their tickets.
Okay. And then the question around where the train station is located.
The train stations are located at all the trains that I just mentioned. All the names are out for you at train stations. Passengers can pick up their tickets from any of them.
Mr. Onovo, sorry to, but I think I don't know, perhaps you're somewhere, the echo, we can barely get what you're saying. I think where you were at the early when we started the conversation is a lot more better than where you are now. So there's a lot of echo, and it's difficult to make out what you're saying. So if you can, please, for the purposes of the conversation and for clarity's sake, change your location. Would appreciate that. While you do that, we'll take 2 more calls. Thank God from Rumekini and Kingsley from Iwofe. I'm sure they have questions that they want to ask. So let's start with Kingsley from Iwofe. Kingsley, good morning. Hello, Kingsley. Good morning.
Good morning. You hear me, Andrew?
Okay, go on.
Yes, you hear me? Let me ask your guest. Like the people that are selling along the rail line, what has the government done to take those people out of that rail line? Because if you look at Mile 1 market there, that market is under lock and key. Can't the government build market for the people? If you hear me, it's just like you have a goat. You lose the goat. The goat goes to destroy property. And you are blaming the goat. That is what is happening. People that are in government are behaving as if they don't know all these things. Government is not doing enough for the people. And man must survive. People will always struggle to eat, no matter the situation, whether they're dead or not. These are the things that really baffles me. When people in government don't want to reason that way, they want to reason on how to use security to pursue the people, to arrest, to prosecute. What are you doing? Is this thing? Are these things happening in UK? Are they happening in UK? People that are in UK, are they better than us here? The government has failed in its responsibilities. Let's be truthful, if you hear me, Andrew. So ourselves, when I hear people that are being paid, public servants, on air to talk, that the people this, people that, blaming people for this, what has the government done? No job. People are struggling. Huh? No job in town. People are struggling to eat. Hunger everywhere. And you tell me not to go and sell? Where people can come and buy market? Let government do something.
All right, Kingsley.
I don't know. People in government should be very, very reasonable. What is happening is something that is affecting everybody. We all know. They know.
All right, Kingsley, thank you. We go over to Rumekini now. Thank God. Okay, we lost the call from Thank God. Back to my guest. Mr. Onovo, you heard Kingsley there. Has the corporation thought about, perhaps having perimeter barbed wire fencings along the rail tracks, some meters away, so that even if people want to trade, they would have to trade behind the fence and not close to the track? Is that something that has been considered, especially in areas where we have huge traffic? We can hear you. You can go on.
Yes. There are a lot of options are on the table. If you know the My One market that I'm talking about, anytime you come close to My One, you will understand that there is serious traffic around that market area. That is people crossing. There are so many routes there. And that was why, like Kingsley said, we were pleading with the state government, because there are jurisdictions where they can, assist us. But I assure you that we have not given up. It's just about to Port Harcourt that's been taken care of now. There are so many of such challenges along the route. We are considering about the barriers you talked about. We are considering about permanent closure. But there are places you can't do that. A lot of options are at the table. So that's why we are on the first instance, pleading with people. You don't say because you are hungry, you go and die, so that you make money and eat. That is not the challenging situation of the country is understood by all of us. But in the process of trying to feed yourself, you don't go kill yourself.
All right.
There are risks that one shouldn't, venture into.
All right. Again, can you please now respond, because we didn't get you clearly. The question on how the tickets, people can get the tickets, how they can book their rides.
On all our stations along the route. We have our main station here in Port Harcourt, the originating station. We have our station at Duke Market Hall. We have along the route Duhos, we have at Elelewa, we have at Konkom, Imo River, Ugwe, and up to Aba station. Railway stations are along the track. For now, you can only get the tickets from the station.
Is it also available online?
No, not available online for now. But arrangements are on.
So what are the routes? What are the routes? Is it just Port Harcourt to Aba only?
Yes.
Because there's a document online that says Port Harcourt to Aba and Port Harcourt to MO. And somebody was asking what the MO means. So is that not, or that document didn't originate?
Imo River. MO is Imo River.
Imo River, okay. So
yes.
Imo River and Aba.
It's along the stretch between Aba and Port Harcourt. You find Imo River in the middle. So it's safe to say the train is moving between Aba and Port Harcourt.
Okay. But then 2 stops can be made. That's what it would then mean.
Not just 2 stops. There are stations, a lot of stations. The ticket specifies the stoppages at Imo River, at Konkom, and Aba.
Okay. So technically, you can stop anywhere in between Port Harcourt and Aba, where you have a station to stop. All right, let's take one more call from Muriel, and then we get on to some more messages before we wrap up. Hello, Muriel from Okrika. Good morning.
Thank you, Stanley. Good morning.
Yes, go ahead.
Stanley, let me look at security. I don't know if there are strategic cameras installed in those trains, but trust me, Stanley, because of past experiences, it is a bit fearful to enter these trains because we've seen situations where suicide bombers or people just come into this train and then hold people who take passengers, hold them hostage. I don't know if in each of these sections of the plane there are security officials stationed there, to protect passengers or CCTV cameras being monitored 24/7. And then when you look at the maintenance of this plane, is it the government that will maintain it? Because government maintaining their own facilities, we've seen that they've done a very, very poor job. Maintaining these facilities, is it handed over to private organizations to do that? And the vandalism, personally, we have strong iron benders. What are the efforts? What are the strategies they are putting in place to ensure that these tracks are not vandalized? Because personally, they will be. But essential, the important is the security.
All right, Muriel, thank you very much. All right, just to add to that, before you respond as we wrap up, this one says, it's good the trains are back, but my question is, where is the train? Why is there no train from Port Harcourt to Bayelsa, Delta, Akwa Ibom, and Calabar? That's a question from Salmon. He sent in this one from Solomon Salmon from Ajip Estate. And then one more question here says, good morning. The train just passed through my house and your usual vibration we experienced from previous train is no more. Kudos to the Nigerian government. Oscar from D-Line sent in that one. All right, Mr. Onovo, as we attempt to wrap up, you heard the question there about CCTVs, if we have those installed, and the other message saying, well, are we going to get a train from Port Harcourt to Bayelsa, to Akwa Ibom, Calabar? And then you can also respond to those who question why we still are looking at a narrow gauge when we can do more.
Oh, thank you very much. I'd like to start with the last writer who said that the train just passed by his house.
And no noise, no vibrations.
Vibrations were no longer there. And he said, kudos. We thank God. It's a gradual process. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with just a step. We are moving gradually. One of the callers talked about, protecting the line. The rail lines are usually not located within the city. They just come into the city and then head into the bush. And it is a long stretch. But because of the challenges we are experiencing, government is considering, in fact, in some areas, there's arrangement of monitoring electronically. But it's a long process that is gradually coming up. Like I said earlier, a lot of options are on the table. I can assure Nigerians that in no distant time, those experiences they want to have, they are going to be having them. talking about the standard gauge and the narrow gauge. A few weeks ago, there were discussions from the federal government discussing with people, investors that are interested in doing standard gauge between Port Harcourt to Abuja, linking some other states around. These are processes. Government is a continuum. These processes started in the last administration and is not stopping. You can see the commissioner of our battery. The processes are continuing. Discussions are continuing. Let Nigerians, I am not very frequent in talking about being patient because Nigerians are very patient people. But we'll plead with them to be a little more patient. These things will come to fruition in time.
Right. Thank you very much, Dr. Onyedikachi Stanley Onovo, Eastern District Public Relations Officer at Nigerian Railway Corporation. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Andrew. My
name is Ifeemi Andrew, and that's it for the Morning Crossfire.
You are tuned in to Nigeria Info. We'll be right back after this.
Mom's love is pure.